Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing another video of Aria Wild Hunt Festival. And I am getting a final copy of the game when it's ready, but what I'm showing today is the nearly final copy. But otherwise, no disclaimer, I don't take any money from publishers, I just want to show you the game so you can check out how it plays. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So if you haven't seen my previous coverage, Wild Hunt Festival is a cooperative boss battler, very much based on Japanese role-playing games, JRPGs, where 1 to 4 players control 4 characters going against nasty bosses. And they have the new Chronicles set that recollects a lot of the stuff in the game and has some new stuff. I've already shown some of that in previews and other things, including I showed in the preview for this new crowdfunding campaign, the Dankai Survey Brigade, which is awesome. It's like a little exploration-based narrative thing. Well, the one piece of content I've not showed at all yet is an Aria of Light and Shadows, which is a smaller expansion. It has 2 new characters, Rui and Haruno. And it has 4 new story bosses you can string together in a campaign. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to use Rui and Haruno and 2 other characters and go against the 4 bosses in their story. And for all of the quests in the game, they have little narrative things you can read, even the base game quests. But here, I'll quickly read through just the beginning for this one. I won't spoil everything else. An Aria of Light and Shadow. Having recently become full-fledged adventurers under the Pirali Adventurers Guild, Rui and Haruno assemble a team to begin taking on requests. Everyone is eager to begin hunting monsters, and they decide on a quest to take down a monster migrating from the north into the Kradia continent. Scouts have confirmed the monster's path and presence, but were not able to identify it among any of the previously recorded beasts. It was classified as a low-threat monster, so the party decided to take it on and build their teamwork while scoring an easy win. Their journey to the northern reaches of Kradia is uneventful, and they manage to locate the beast, a hulking, stag-like creature. It continues moving along its path, almost a straight line, as if it is singularly focused on reaching a destination in the south. A quick check of a map and compass finds it heading exactly in the direction of Pirali, which only strengthens the party's determination in taking it down. So all the story stuff is just totally extra flavor here. You can just play the game and fight these bosses however you like. But I will say that this story directly relates to Rui and Haruno, and they kind of like change and grow more than average characters in the game. But putting all that aside, I'm going to fight against the Herald of Sun's Radiance first. They have 24 life. If I can bring them down to 0, I will get a little resupply and rest period, and then I'll go against the level 2 boss, level 3, level 4. My characters will also level up, and if we can beat all 4 of them before we are all defeated, we win. I get to pick 4 of these Akuna little helper rabbit guys that I can use once each in the entire campaign, and then they're gone. I've got one that stops all of us from getting status ailments if a boss is about to totally smash the team. I've got one that ignores the boss's overdrive special powers for a round. One that ignores nasty things the battlefield itself might throw at us for a round. And somebody that lets me flip a die to its opposite side to change a miss for me into a super hit or mess with the boss's attack. So all pretty useful, but they'll just stay to the side. I'm hopefully not going to have to use any of them in the first battle. And let's talk about the boss and our characters before we get to the actual first round. So pretty regular stuff for the boss. They do, with their sun's radiance, they're a shiny boy, give us the darkness physical ailment pretty frequently, which means we can't make basic attacks. And their solar flare 15 to 17 ability lets them deal 4 damage to everybody who's got the darkness ailment, which could be devastating if we all get it. And their strongest attack, Shining Mercy, lets them do 2 damage to each of my characters and heals themselves. They have a few ways to heal, equal to the amount of damage dealt. Now, unlike most bosses, and this is pretty unusual, they don't have a rage track that's going to tick up every turn. They do have the ability to get +1 to their next attack if they use charge absorption. They do have an overdrive effect, which is this sort of more pinkish grayish area. And that says at the start of every round, they're going to deal 1 damage to whoever the first player is and heal themselves 1. That's annoying. But a nice thing, Song of Sacrifice, when we defeat them, it says they'll fully heal the hero that defeated the boss, and if Rui's in the party, fully heal her as well. You're going to see each of these bosses, and this is, again, a unique thing to this expansion. I haven't seen this in any of the other sets. They actually interact with these special characters, Rui and Haruno, in fun ways. Now, importantly, you can totally play with other characters. It's just that if you happen to use one or both of these characters, fun things will happen. All right, let's meet the level 1 versions of each of these people. So Rui's a battle master and an attacker. She has 11 max hit points, pretty good charge attacks. And for right now, her level 1 ability is Bloodlust. If she spends a red mana, she's immune to the effects of all ailments this round, and then she gets to take an extra turn, and she can use the skill even if she's, I think it's afraid, which would normally stop her from being able to use anything. And yeah, we'll get to the level 2, level 3, level 4 stuff as we unlock it. Haruno is a swift sword attacker. She has 9 health, but also 0 shield because she can gain shields that will tank damage before her health. Right now, she can get them from the 2 and 4 charge attack. And she has a level 1 skill that honestly I might never use. because it really is tied to her level 2 skill, but it says that for 2 blue and 2 red mana, she can do a twin slash. And this one is based on this little boost track here. This is something that she can build up. Other characters can too. And when she does a basic attack, she'll deal that much extra damage and then it zeroes out. But if she can save this up without doing a basic attack, she can do a twin slash, do double the damage, so she could do 8 damage in one shot. That's pretty much unheard of in this game. But then all of it goes away. Okay, then some characters not from this expansion. I wanted to have a healer. Everybody else is an attacker, so it seems smart. This is Manad. They've got 11 health. Their attacks are pretty terrible, just mana focus. They miss on everything except a 5 or 6. But as a peddler, they have some nice abilities. For right now, for 2 red, they can throw holy water. They choose 1 hero, remove all their ailments, remove a stun token if they have it, and heal them for 3. And then finally, Myra. She's an alchemist, a 3rd attacker, and she's from the Donkai's Survey Brigade expansion, so I've got a mix of things here. She has this extra card, Trickster, which just says that if she gets a mental ailment, she instead gets the physical ailment above it. So if she would go to sleep, instead she gets poison. If she would get confused, she gets darkness. Oh, it's not darkness, it's blind. I think Final Fantasy VI called it darkness. They had the sunglass thing too. And some of her best hits also add physical ailments to her. Why? Well, actually, not much reason until level 2, because at level 2, she gets to actually remove her own physical ailments to do super attacks against the boss. But right now, her only skill is Experimental Brew. She gives herself +3 boost for her next basic attack. But then based on the current battlefield track, she takes Sleep, Confusion, or Fear. Although, of course, that would probably be Poison, Blind, or Paralyzed. That's the little lightning one. Although the only time that doesn't happen is if she already has it. So if she's already blinded and she would get confused, she actually gets confused. All right, so that's their weird level 1 selves. Let's fight this guy. So getting into round 1, in case you haven't seen how the game works before, I'll explain things in some detail. So first you start with the battlefield phase. Battlefield is going to have ongoing effects that'll impact the players, the boss, or both. And you roll a die at first to determine which column it starts in. Then you roll the die again to determine which column it goes down to. It automatically goes down in the 3rd round. And then in the 4th round, it automatically jumps to the one that matches where it previously was. So if it was on a moon, moon column. If it was on the sun, sun column. So after the start of the game, you only roll the die to determine which way it goes on those two. So for this one, let's see, we got, okay, it's a sun. So this one means nobody can evade this turn. I don't know if any of my characters even have evasion abilities, so not a big deal. Next turn, we'll either have weakened charge attacks or our skills will cost less blue mana. And the turn after that, we'll have either better basic attacks where the boss will do a very specific attack. Oh, that's their really nasty one, right? Yeah, the one that hits everybody who's blinded. But for this turn, none of that matters. Okay, next we have the most important phase, the hero action phase. We're going to go 1 hero at a time, and they can take a basic attack, a charge attack, or a skill action. Basic attack means they do 1 damage to the boss, boosted by the track if they have any movement there. And then whichever space the boss's life lands on, you'll see they have red or blue colors. The person will gain the matching mana, 1 point of it. You can also do a charge attack. You roll a d6, and you resolve the effect indicated. The one that has like a little dragon head and a minus is how much damage you would deal to the boss. If it has the little guy flexing with a red-blue, that means that you get mana, just like a basic attack, although usually you don't from charge attacks. And for her 6 gives +1 to all attacker characters on that track. That would help Haruno a ton, but also help Myra and herself. And then finally, the third option on your turn is to use a skill if you have the mana for it. Now, as you'll see in a moment, the boss's activation is determined by the space they land on, and the number of diamonds is how many dice they roll to determine their attack, and usually fewer is better. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to have everybody do a basic attack this first turn, because that way we won't have anything nasty happen. So Rui will do a basic attack and get a red mana for her skill. Next is Manod, who will get a blue mana, which he can't actually use yet, but that's okay. Then Haruno will get a red mana. That's fine because her twin slash is so expensive that I don't think I'll use it at all. And finally, Myra will get a blue mana. I didn't even need to show their boards for any of that because everything they did was pretty basic. Okay, now we go to the boss attack phase. We are going to roll the indicated number of dice. In this case, just 1, and see what they do. They got a 2, which means that they bash. So the little black meeple means the player that's currently the first player, that's Rui, is going to take 2 damage, and then they heal themselves 1. So Rui, boop, boop, goes down to 9. Okay, then normally we would end with the boss rage phase, where the boss's rage goes up by 1. But again, the Herald of Sun's Radiance does not have a rage track, so that doesn't happen. Instead, Manad becomes the new first player, and we do it all over again. I'm not sure which is the result I'd rather have. We get the star, which means everything costs -1 blue this turn. By the way, if we had rolled one of the 2 sun faces, we flip it to the other side, and they have the die designed so that each of the other possible faces is there. So anybody who uses a skill this turn has to spend 1 less blue mana. Unfortunately, with us being level 1 and only having 1 skill each, and some of us not even having any that use blue mana, that's not going to matter much. All right, so Minot is up first. I guess they'll just attack and get a blue mana again. This is literally useless to them in terms of using their skill, but besides that, it's fine. Oh, and geez, I'm seeing that 2, 3, 4. We might want to just do all basic attacks again here. Although it's going to get us all the exact same mana. It's okay. Although, actually, let's change things up a bit so maybe we can get different mana. Let's go back to Minot, and let's try a charge attack. We got a 4. And now how it works is when you roll an even number, you can do any even number that is equal to or lower than what you rolled. So I could do a 4 or a 2 here. Whereas if you roll an odd number, like a 5, I could do a 5, 3, or 1. If I rolled a 3, I could do a 3 or 1. So here with a 4, I could do no damage, but gain mana twice. Or if I was level 2, I could gain mana once with a 2, but I'm not, so I'll pick the 4. And here we go. This is better because it's already on a red. So now he gets 2 red mana, which will be enough to activate the Throw Holy Water later. Okay, and then Harna wanted blue mana, so she'll do that. Basic attack, Myra will get a red mana, so now she's ready to use her Experimental Brew. But now, let's see. This would automatically be an 8. I'm just thinking of maybe doing a charge attack with Rui. If she misses, it would be an 8, which is Energy Drain. Mana would take 2 damage, and the boss would heal 2. If she gets a 1, it'll be 3 dice, which is more commonly going to be like charge absorption or stuff, which actually isn't that bad. Especially because the guy isn't attacking really next turn, except for the person who gets blinded. So if they do charge absorption and get to attack +1 for their next attack, yeah, let's have Rui do a charge. So roll the d6 again, and we got another 4. So she can, do 1 damage and heal 2, or do 1 damage and nothing because she's not level 3 yet. So yeah, she will do 1 damage and heal back to full. So we do leave the guy on 3 dice. But yeah, if he gets that 9 to 11, I'm really not too worried. And he did. I mean, that's pretty average for 3 dice. So that's 11, yep. So it is charge absorption. Oh, he is stunning Manad. That means that they'll miss their next turn. And then their next attack is +1, but that gets used up even if next round they get something that doesn't deal any damage, which is possible. All right, and we go into round 3. Oh, this is actually fantastic. So look, the boss's attack is set to a 15, which is going to be a solar flare. The first player will get blinded, and then every blinded hero will take 4 damage, but 5 because of the charge absorption from last round. But totally by accident, look who is currently first player. Haruno, who is resistant, cannot be blinded. She's the only character in the entire group like that. So yeah, the boss is literally doing nothing to us this turn. Let's just hit the guy. So Haruno will do 1 and get a red. So she's 1 blue away from getting Twin Slash, although it would do nothing at the moment because she hasn't actually raised up her basic attack. Myra will get a blue. Rui will get a red. And Manad loses their stun. Okay, and yep, they do Solar Flare. They fail to blind Haruno. They fail to do any damage. Their attack +1 is gone. We're not scared of your bright lights, buddy. That was a great round. All right, we go to round 4. Myra is the main character now, and we're going from blue to blue, which means Myra can get 1 red or 1 blue mana. Well, she'll get another red, and she could do an Experimental Brew. Does she want to? It's based on the current battlefield, so she would get Confusion, which would actually transform into getting her blinded. Oh, and that sounds fine. I mean, the annoying thing is that she can't do a basic attack. When you're blinded, you can't do a basic attack. Sorry, I should have said that. And if she gets blinded and can't do basic attack, she can't use the +3 boost to a basic attack. But Manad could throw some holy water at her. And the boss has several attacks that blind the first player, so her blinding herself first doesn't seem like too big of a deal. So sure, she'll go ahead and build up for later. She will, on her turn, cast Experimental Brew, go up to 3. She would get confused, but because of her trickster ability, bloop, she's actually blinded. Yeah, and just to go through these, if you're poisoned, you take 1 damage at the start of each of your turns. Blinded, you can't do basic attacks. Paralyzed, you can't do charge attacks. Sleeping, you can't do anything, but the moment you take any amount of damage from a player or from an enemy, you wake up. Confuse means all you do on your turn is hit your friends. You gain 1 mana, whatever the boss's track is on, and you do 1 damage to the first player. And fear means you can't use skills. And importantly, the mental skills, the reason they have the little arrows there is because you can only be affected by 1 of them. So if you're confused and then you get put to sleep, you just become asleep. And then if you're afraid, you wake up and become afraid. All right, but that was Myra. So Rui's Bloodlust, I could spend a red to become immune to ailments, but she shouldn't be getting impacted by any of them. So I guess let's go for an attack, because with her track, which is pretty powerful, a 5 or 6 will do extra damage, and a 2 through 4 won't do anything bad. So 4. She could heal. She doesn't need to. She just does 1 damage to the boss either way. All right, Manad could... No, I guess Myra's not even hurt yet. I mean, nobody's hurt. So they might as well do a basic attack, I think. Gets him another red, which right now is the best mana color for him. And then Haruno can do a blue, but if we do it, he'll be locked into a 14, which is Radiant Burst. Okay, Myra would get a blinding, which wouldn't do anything, and then everybody would take 1 damage. That's not too bad. But the other annoying thing is that we would be in Radiant Presence territory, where the first player, that'd be Rui at that point, would take a damage, and the boss would heal 1, which actually makes me think I should just have Haruno roll for a charge attack, because if she does 0 damage, the boss will end up in the same 13 life anyway, but nobody will get hurt. Or she can get a 6, so I have options here. I can do 2 damage to the boss, and move up her track by 2, which would set up a twin slash, or do 1 damage to the boss and get 2 shields, or do just 1 damage to the boss. I mean, yeah, clearly we're doing that. So now even when the Herald heals, they won't be out of 11 damage. All right, let's see what they're up to. Oh, it's a 13, which is the same Radiant Burst they would have gotten here. Okay, so Myra would be blinded, but she already is, but everybody does take 1 damage. Luckily, it's not boosted. All right, going into the next round. Before the battlefield phase, Rui takes 1 damage, and they heal back to 12. Definitely annoying. And we got to roll to see which way this goes. Sun. Okay, so the boss is definitely doing their energy drain this turn. They deal 2 damage to the first player, Rui, and they heal themselves too. That's annoying. But it does mean that we can just attack to our heart's content, because no matter what we do, they're only going to do an 8, even if we land on some... Oh, this guy doesn't have any like crazy 4 or 5 things, so they're almost never going to activate these bottom abilities. And I don't really mind Rui getting hurt, because she's going to fully heal no matter what. So let's hit this guy. All right, Rui's definitely going to do a charge attack, hoping for that 6, but nope. Oh, she heals herself again and does 1 damage. By the way, mana is useful in a battle, even if you don't end up using it, because it gives you 1 healing in between battles, because you don't get any automatic healing in this game. All right, Manad. Oh, I know. I want to throw Holy Water at Myra, so I choose 1 here. They remove all ailments and heal 3. So Myra won't be blinded yet and only gets 1 health, but so be it. But now she can do her attack for 4 damage instead of 1. That's great. All right, next is Haruno, and honestly, I'm just going to do a basic attack and do 3 damage. I don't need to save up for Twin Slash in this first battle. That's better for monsters with really nasty sections where you want to do a ton of damage at once. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, and she does get a blue, so she does have the mana for Twin Slash, although I think she'll just use that for healing. And then Myra will do her super boosted attack, because your boost track, I think, goes back at the end of the battle. Let me check that. And this goes down to 4 life. All right, he's doing the 8 attack, so Rui takes 2 damage, and he heals 2. Annoying. And as the new round starts, we all remove all ailments and stun. That would have been great if any of us had any. And the boss hits Manad for 1 damage and heals themselves. Manad's at 9 now. All right, let's try to beat this guy up. So Manad's going to do an attack for 1. Haruno's definitely doing... Well, should I definitely do a charge attack? So odds always miss. So it's a 50-50 chance here. Let's go for it. Okay, 2 does a damage and nothing else. I'm fine with that. Okay, Myra, on the other hand, is a very good charge attacker. Like Rui, we got a 5. So we could just do 2 damage straight up, or do 1 damage, gain 2 red mana and blind ourselves, or 2 blue mana and poison ourselves. No, 2 damage is fine. I think it's them down to 3. And Rui will also charge attack. No way we're finishing this guy up. Okay, just 1 damage. Okay. All right, and we got 3 dice. Oh, I missed that they automatically do Shining Mercy if they're at 1. What we got? It's 12. Another Radiant Burst. So Minot is blinded, and everybody takes 1 damage again. At least the boss didn't heal. That part's nice. So we go into what should be the final turn. Yeah, I mean, there's no way it won't be with just basic attacks. So we go up to here. Charge attacks cannot select 3. So like if I rolled a 3, I'd have to pick a 1. Remember, because you can pick lower odds or lower evens. If I rolled a 5, I couldn't pick a 3. So a minor debuff for us. Haruno's the first player, so she's going down to 6 to heal the boss, but she's got more than enough mana to fully heal. Blink, there we go. And yeah, this could be very simple. So Haruno will do a damage and get a mana. Myra will do a damage and get a mana. And Rui will finish him off. Oh, wait, Rui shouldn't finish him off. Well, you know what? I don't think it matters. I think we have enough mana that everybody's going to heal fully anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of wasting the Song of Sacrifice because it's supposed to be the person that defeats the boss plus Rui. Here it's the same person. Yep, so Rui is at full life and I have more than enough mana to heal anyway. Manad had 3 mana, so also fine. Haruno had 4 mana, so totally healed. And Myra, yep. So that was a pretty straightforward battle. Got him down. And if you wanted to, you could read the narrative about what happens after that fight, because some pretty interesting things happen to Rui, not to spoil anything. But we're going to skip all that and just focus on the fighting. All right, so after each battle, each character gets one item. So Rui gets a leaf that heals you for 4. Mana gets a rabbit's foot. You have to pick to use it on your turn, but it'll change one of the boss's dice to a 0. Haruno gets a stuffed lump thunder that can subtract 2 rage from the boss. That wouldn't have worked much on this boss, but later ones. And Myra gets an ether crystal that'll give her 2 red mana when she breaks it, which is pretty good because she definitely uses more red mana. And we didn't have to use any of our Akunas as planned for Fight 1. Great. So that takes us on to Battle 2. Let's see what leveling up did for us. So Rui now has Power Drain. She can use 2 blue mana to do 2 damage to the boss and then regain life equal to the damage dealt. Manad now gains a mana on a 2 result and gets the Mending Mana skill. They can now use blue mana to get them 2 red mana for throwing Holy Water, and that heals themselves too. Haruno gets the skill that I said was pretty dang key to her whole strat, which is Focus. She can do nothing on her turn, just use the skill, which usually you can't do, to boost us up by 1 and gain 1 mana, which you can see is a very easy way to get a crazy twin slash setup. And finally, Myra also really depends on her level 2. Now for 1 red mana, she can remove a physical ailment, any of these top ones, to do 2 damage to the boss, and she does +1 damage for each other physical ailment she has. So suddenly experimental review and her charge results giving her physical ailments, not that big of a deal. Okay, now we're against the Mad Algathon Torrent. Stabbing make us afraid or poisoned. He can get a flurry, which means he gets to attack multiple times in 1 round. He does have a rage track this time when it reaches the 4th space. The lead player takes 3 damage and gets confused. Hopefully it's Myra. Is anybody? Oh, and Rui is resistant to it. Okay, so we have 2 out of 4 people who won't necessarily worry about that too much. And when he's in the middle of his life track, his overdrive gives him Wild Abandon. At the end of the round, the boss and every character take 1 damage, so he kind of hurts himself to hurt us. It's like a bit scary. We can take him down. Let's get to Battle 2. All right, so we're in Moon to start. So Rui's going to get a red or blue. I think she'll get a blue because the first normal attack track is going to get her a red. Although, should she ever do normal attacks? And then, yes, she will indeed do a normal attack for a red to get him down to 27. I guess getting to 24 is not too bad if we all do normal attacks. Manad will get a blue, which can use their Mending Mana. Haruno will get a red, a quarter of the way to their twin slash. And Myra will get a blue, which is not quite as good for her as red, but so be it. Oh, wait, hold on. Myra was the new first player, so she's the one who gets to pick red or blue, and she's about to get a red, so she'll pick blue. Everyone else will still do a basic attack, but the mana ended up a little bit different. All right, and let's see what this guy does. 7 and 9 is actually pretty terrible, and maybe I shouldn't have given him 2 dice. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's only a 5. Good. So it's a Wild Crash, so Myra takes 3 damage and is stunned. That is still a bit annoying. And Rage ticks up by 1. All right, into round 2. The boss is automatically going to do their Feral Dive, which means they do 4 damage. And then they go again, rolling 1 fewer die. So they'll probably do Intimidating Shout. Or Wild Crash. Jeez. Kind of want to get this guy to higher numbers, but I don't even know if that's better. Well, anyway, Rui will do a normal attack to get up to a red. I don't really want her to do charge attacks until she's hurt, since that 4 result just heals her. And Manad will get a blue. That's fine. Oh, and Haruno would like a red. That'll get it closer to a twin strike. So there, and then Myra's stunned, so nothing else. And the boss automatically does an 8 from the place, so -4 to Rui. And then he keeps going. This is a little scary. He gets a 3, which means Rui takes 2 more damage and is afraid. So she can't use any other skills except for Bloodlust, since it ignores the limitation of using that, but she can't do her Power Drain right now. Oh, well. And we are halfway to yes. How's that going to go right now? It's on Manad, so it'll go there, and then it'll be on Haruno, it'll go there. Oh, and she's resistant to confusion, so that's actually not too bad. No need to mess with that track right now. All right, Manad's up. Blue mana is not really what they want, but I also don't want to have them use their Mending Mana power because they don't have any damage to be healed yet, and they don't have enough to use Throw Holy Water. Why don't mind slow playing and building up? Let's do a charge attack for them. Okay, so they gain 1 red mana instead of a blue. I guess that's good. And yeah, with where the boss is, I think I'm going to have Haruno use Focus. Gets her a red, and again sets her up for a twin slash maybe. We kind of want to hit the boss for like 2 more damage. Ooh, and I just saw that the next battlefield thing is going to remove all ailments. So let's have Myra go ahead and use Experimental Brew to get +3 to her next physical attack. And Sun, she would go to sleep, so she becomes poisoned, which I really don't want her to be, but it'll go away at the start of the next turn. All right, so nobody's actually attacked. Let's have Rui do something about that with a 4. So she heals 2. That was good and does 1 damage. Oh, geez, which does Reckless Charge on Manad. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, they're locked into a 16. So they do 6 damage of Manad. They're down to 5. But they also do 2 damage to themselves. Oh, which gets us into Wild Abandon, which, happens right now. It's end of round. Great. So that moves up 1. And the boss takes another damage, and so does everybody else. So Manad is down to 4, and Rui's down to 6. That was fun. But hey, at least Myra is not poisoned anymore. All right, so Haruno is probably going to get hit with a lot of things this turn, so I want her to do a charge attack. I don't want to do a basic attack. I want to potentially save up for a huge swing here. But yeah, on a 5 or a 3, she would get an evasion, which would protect her from the 3 damage from Glimpse the Dark, even though, again, she's resistant to the confusion, and potentially anything else the guy might do. Oh, nice. Okay, so yep, we got an evade. Could have gone that on the 3 as well. Oh, and she goes up by 1. And she gets 1. Oh, wait a second. It's either go up by 1 or get a red or get a blue. I'd rather go up by 1. And then if she can do another focus on like a blue space, she'll be set up for at least a 6 damage attack. But the evade is really the biggest thing here. Okay, Myra, on the other hand. Yeah, let's whack the dude for 4 damage. It gets her onto a red. Rui still can't do her power drain. But let's go for a charge attack, I guess. 3. So just 1 damage. Okay. That was a bad idea, Mike. Okay, so they're at 12. I actually wouldn't mind a Feral Dive right now because Haruno won't take any damage, and then the Flurry will also try to do damage and won't do anything. Whereas 10 to 12 and anything higher actually hits multiple people. But Manad would need to roll a 5 or a 6 to get down to a 10, so I think we just don't worry about that. Oh, I guess we could. Huh. Is this worth doing? I think it is, because it's going to totally shut down anything the boss does. So Manad is going to use their Rabbit's Foot to change 1 die of their choice to 0, so we can make sure that literally nothing's going to happen from the boss this turn. But then for their actual action, let's go ahead and throw Holy Water at Rui, right? Because she's pretty messed up, and that'll get rid of her fear if she wants to use Power Drain. Oh, she needs 1 more blue for that? Why did I think she was good to use it? Never mind. All right, so the boss is rolling 3 dice, but I get to pick 1 to 0 out. So I can give them an 8 or a 6. 6 would be Wild Crash, which would try to do 3 damage to Haruno, but it wouldn't. And I think the arrow means that it's only if they deal damage that they stun them. An 8 would do 4 and then roll again. I mean, all of this is totally negated. Yeah, so Haruno takes no damage. Then this advances. Haruno takes 3 damage. No, she doesn't. And she gets confused. No, she doesn't. Take that, doggy. Can't even make anything happen. But the evade does go away. And, oh, that's right. We're doing Wild Abandon again. So everybody takes 1 damage. Manad is down to 3. That's great. Got to kill this guy and heal that person. And items, unfortunately, can't be traded. So Rui can't give Manad their +4 thing. All right, Myra's up. She doesn't have any physical ailments to remove. Oh, she could get a blue mana. Yeah, so we'll do a basic attack for her just to not take any chances. And I think we also want to make sure we get this guy out of his OD section. Well, I still think Rui should go for the charge. Oh, nice. Heal 2 and do a damage. Love that. I wanted Manad to heal, but I don't want them to be here, so they're going to go and do a damage and get a blue mana. And then, oh man, Haruno gets a red, which is the one she didn't want. We got out of the overdrive. He's not going to do automatic damage. He is still rolling 3 dice. And Myra is pretty hurt. Yes, it could actually be pretty bad. Okay, we'll see what happens. That's a 12. Emerging Dread. So Myra and Rui will become afraid and poisoned. Well, Myra doesn't mind that because she can just blast the dude with Catalytic Burst, but Rui, it's not her favorite thing. I should have had her use her little Bloodlust ability. And then Rage goes up by 1. Oh, but no damage? All right, so it goes. Now, I could use my Chef to have none of us take status effects this turn, but Rui's fine. She can handle it, and Myra's going to actually use it to blast the guy harder. So, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so just to show, she gets a poison instead of a fear. She gets a paralysis, but now she can do Catalytic Burst, remove 1 of them, and since she has another one, she'll do 3 damage with 1 mana. That's great. But that goes up twice, once from Emerging Dread and once from the regular thing. But I think he should be dead before he gets a chance to fire that off again. Oh, wait, did I forget to remove this last turn? Yeah, I definitely did. Okay, so last turn we would have been on the Charge Attack 3. I don't think anybody did a Charge Attack 3. And now, oh, we all heal 1? Thank you, Battlefield. Although what's coming? The boss heals 4. Can we might be able to kill him this turn. Yeah, between like basic attacks and stuff, I think we actually probably can. Because Myra's attack will do 3, and Haruno with her basic bonus will do 3. Oh, cool. So Manad can just heal themselves, and we'll be done otherwise. Yeah, so Rui does take a damage from the poison and can't use a spell. But she's going to do a basic attack to be safe and get herself some more healing anyway. Manad is going to use Mending Mana to heal himself too, and get 2 more mana, so he's going to heal back to 9. Yeah, Myra will be the only one who's really in a bad situation health-wise. Haruno will do 3 basic damage, gets her red mana, and Myra takes a damage from her poison, and then she's going to use Catalytic Burst. She'll remove the poison, 2 damage to the boss, +1 for each other physical ailment. Get out of here, puppy. So yay, another boss down! And Myra only heals 1, but Haruno and Rui heal fully, and Manad is at 9. Yeah, so okay, that's not too bad at all. And Manad will be first in the next battle. Let's see what items we get. Manad gets a Chara Berry. Your hero removes all ailments and stun. That's nice. And you can use that even when you are stunned. Haruno can get 2 blue mana. Myra can get 2 blue mana. Wow, so she can get 4 mana total with her items. Oh, and funnily enough, Rui's Power Crystal. That was a weird chance. Rui's getting this. So it comes into play with 2 charges, and she can use a charge to deal +1 damage on an attack, and when she levels up, she gains a charge to a max of 3, which we're about to do, because you get... Actually, wait, let me check if you level up or get items first. Never mind. You level up and then you get items, but it does mean that we'll get a charge back before the final boss. And yeah, let me show you the level ups, because these are cool. Rui's is especially interesting, and again, this goes into the narrative that's in the book. So she is touched by darkness. So she has this little purple track, corruption, whatever it is, it starts at 0. And her skill, unlike most characters, she doesn't get 2 options. Instead, there's a dormant side and an unleashed side. Whenever she does a basic attack, she gains corruption equal to the damage dealt. And if she has at least 2 corruption, her power drain deals +1 damage. That's her level 2 skill. And here's the dormant side of her skills now. So Bloodlust now does what it did before, but she can spend a second red if she likes to gain 2 corruption. Power Drain does what it did before, but she gains corruption equal to the damage dealt. And remember, this would do 3 damage and give her 3 healing if she already had at least 2 corruption. And then finally, Energy Burst is a passive that costs 1 blue and 2 red. If she starts her turn with 6 corruption, she can choose to pay the cost and flip the card over. And then she gets to unleash the corruption, Dark Phoenix style, on her enemies. So Reckless Flourish costs nothing. She does 3 piercing damage to the boss, but she does lose up to 3 corruption, although she could use that one even if she only has 1 corruption. For 4 corruption, she can do 3 damage to the boss and lower their rage by 1. And for 6 corruption, that's everything. It's as high as the thing goes. She does a power dive, dealing 4 damage and making the boss roll 1 fewer die. And whenever she gets back to 0 corruption, this flips back to this and she can do regular skills again. Really cool. Everyone else gets a choice. For Manad, they can do Fate Helping Hand, draw 1 item card from the deck and give it to any hero. Pretty great. Or Soothing Salve, the first player gains 1 health and 1 other hero, or it could be the same hero, gets 5 health. I gotta go with that one, since nobody else is healing this crew. Haruno's Twin Slash heals her 2 now, but she's got either Spring's Duplicity. For that one, she deals piercing damage to the boss equal to her boost track, and then her boost track goes down by 2, so if it was at 3 or 4, she'd still have a little bit. And then the next hero in turn order removes all physical ailments and stun, and their first attack this round gains piercing, and then she also gains 2 shields. Not sure how I feel about her being next to Myra. I guess she could help Myra get rid of her own status effects. But either way, a cool power. Ooh, I think I might like this one better. Spring's Reflection. Perform the last hero action done this round. Oh, but that's whatever Manad did. Ignoring its cost, if any, and then she gains +2 shields. I mean, the cool thing is that if Manad does like a huge healing thing, like if he does Soothing Salve to heal 6 life total, she could also do it. Whereas Spring's Duplicity is using up the swords I kind of want to save for Twin Slash. Yeah, I think I'll go for the Reflection one. Even though, honestly, I might not use it. I might just save up to do huge damage. Okay, and finally, Myra, Cloud of Fortitude. Transmute all allies' mental ailments, so they would all slide up to the physical ailment above. And then she does 2 damage to the boss for each transmuted thing. So if the boss like puts everybody to sleep or makes everybody scared, she could help out with that and then do up to 6 damage because it's allies, not herself. Oh, but then she becomes confused, which would slide up and make her blinded. Oh man, or Elixir of Confidence. Look at this. She heals herself 4. She takes every physical ailment and she gets the red mana she needs to cast Catalytic Burst to remove a physical ailment and then do 4 damage because she'll have all 3 ailments. Oh man. I really like the other one, but I'm gonna go with that, I think. All right, with all that, let's look at what our third boss is, the Entangled Monstrosity. So this one is very focused on Rui. If she's in there, she becomes first player automatically, and she gains 1 corruption. And then anytime she gets max corruption and unleashes when her thing flips over, whoever the current first player is takes 3 damage and gets confused. I guess we could try to make that happen when Myra's the first player, although that would take a while. So yeah, this guy's kind of feeding off the corruption and like the monster energy. Again, not trying to like spoil the actual story that's going on with Rui. But what else does he have? Well, his rage takes forever. It's got 6 spaces, but it makes every single character fearful, and any character that did not gain fear instead becomes poisoned. That's nice. And they have 2 overdrive sections, middle and at the end, which makes them take, oh man, -1 damage from basic and charge attacks. Oh, and while not in overdrive, -1 damage from skills. So we really got to do one and then the other, although obviously Dread Blossom would make the skill one quite tough. But hey, worst case, we've got the chef to prevent all of us from becoming afraid if it comes to that. And we can ignore the overdrive if we want to do more damage. We've got one to ignore the battlefield effect. And we can still flip a die if somebody like in a key attack rolls a 1 and we want to change it to a 6 or whatever. So we got some options. I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, but yeah, Rui starts out automatically and she goes up to 1. So I guess against this boss, I don't necessarily want to go to max too quickly again until maybe Myra is the first character. So Rui's definitely going to start out with a attack. She's not hurt. Oh, she could. That's nice. Look, the 2 now that she's level 3 becomes a basic attack, basically, except it doesn't give her any corruption. So she's dealing 1 damage. They're down to a red, which gets her bloodlust. That's cool. Oh, I just realized the guy says max and unleash because going to max is one thing, and then unleashing is when she starts her turn at max. So somebody could get hit twice. So yeah, it's a little sad. They're kind of preventing me from wanting to use stuff. Oh, stupid Mike, forgetting the battlefield again. So it starts out on no evasion. All right, so we definitely want to have Haruno do a charge attack. But yeah, the boss is here after Rui attacked. So Manad, Haruno, Myra. So I'd rather get to there. Yeah, especially Horrify is really weak right now because nobody's afraid. Once we do become afraid, everyone taking 2 damage would be terrible. So yeah, Manad will get a blue mana, which gets them halfway to using their cool new healing spell. Haruno will get a red mana. And then I'd love to get to 2. Myra's got a pretty good chance of making that happen. A 6 would do it, a 3 would do it, a 5 would do it. So that's 50% odds. A 3, I said would do it, right? Yep, 2 damage, awesome. No mana for her yet, though, but she's also got crystals forever. She wants to cast a spell. Oh, and right, this guy right now would take -1 damage from skills. Okay, so we got him right to that 1 spot in the middle of everything else. Worked out awesome, and he's doing a 2. That's the one I didn't want. Rui's taking 3 damage, but the annoying thing is that she is paralyzed now. So she can't do charge attacks. So she's pretty much going to have to do basic attacks and get a little bit corrupt. Although, again, if we can have her reach max on Myra's turn, it's not that big of a deal. All right, and boss going up 1. Yeah, now this is interesting. So we want to get like basic attacks and mana gaining stuff to like right about here. Then go in here with like a big basic attack and then use some kind of skill to kick us out. Well, Manad will go and do a basic attack to get a second blue ready to use Soothing Salve. But they won't actually do that yet because Mike's not cheating and we're seeing... Okay, ooh, charge attacks. Can't do 3 or 6 this turn. We got to kind of do basic. But actually, that works out fine. So Haruno will get a second red. Myra will get a blue. And Rui will get another red. And we're right outside of the overdrive taking effect. Oh, and Rui went to 2 corruption from the basic attack. All right, now this guy is doing 2 dice. Whoa, that's 2. So... Manad is paralyzed. I barely care about that. He's not really the one I want to be doing charge attacks anyway. The 3 damage, though, stings a little bit. He's down to 6, and we're at 2 for the rage. Okay, Haruno is first. I guess she'll do a charge attack. I don't mind her getting an evasion while she's the first character. Oh, that's great. She evades. What else? She gets 1. Oh, that's right. It's 1 or 1 or 1. Yeah, I mean, she's got to take this, right? Okay, then Myra. Do I want to have her take us into the gray? I mean, sure, we can try it. Let's see what her charge attack does. Oh, a 6. So she would do 2 damage to the boss and get poison and take another turn. I guess we can deal with that. Oh, which means the boss is now in -1 to basic and charge attacks. And I think since Myra's poisoned and she's getting another turn, she takes the damage from it, huh? And I don't have any red mana to use Catalytic Burst. Well, sure I do, right? Let's go ahead and use her red ether crystal to get 2 red mana, spend 1, get rid of her poison, and do 2 damage to the boss. And skills are the ones that are not reduced now, so they're actually down to 19. Cool. Now Rui, huh? Okay, let's have her do a basic attack using one of the 2 power crystal charges. So she'll do 2 damage, -1 because of the overdrive. So 1, which will end her up in blue. That part's good. And I think she only gets 1 corruption since only 1 damage actually got through. And we're very close to the boss getting out of this nastiness. And as for Nod, I mean, yeah, there's not much point in attacking right now. So might as well use Mending Mana to get 2 red and to heal himself too. Nice. Dang it, did I forget to put the battlefield again? I'm really being bad about keeping track of rounds. Did I move it or did I not? Well, let's assume I didn't, because it wouldn't have affected Haruno's 5 on charge. Oh, it would have affected, though, Myra's 6. Okay, we'll say we did this. Maybe it's supposed to be there, which also means Rui, who did a basic attack, would have gotten 2 blue. Maybe. Ah, dang it. Okay, but the boss is rolling 3 and 10. Whale of Terror. So Haruno is going to take 4 damage and be afraid. She doesn't take the damage, but I should have read the rules. They definitely do still take other effects. So she is scared now and can't use any skills. Definitely a bit annoying. All right, and this guy's at 3. Okay, I'm actually moving it, although I might have moved it too many times now. So you can't do 3 charge attacks this turn. All right, the boss is still in overdrive. Let's have Myra do her thing that gives me +3 bonus, but wait, what will she take? She'll be afraid. Oh no, she would be paralyzed, so she couldn't do charge attacks, but she can still do basic attacks, so I think that's okay. And if she gets more mana, she could always use her catalytic burst to get rid of that. All right, Rui. Oh, we can do a power drain now. Yeah. So she'll do 2 damage to the boss, just shy of getting them out. Actually, let's go ahead and use the power crystal. That'll get the boss fully out of their overdrive. Although that gets her to max. She heals 3, and she gains 3 of that, which means Myra's getting confused and taking 3 damage. Oh, Myra. Oh, no. And the confused becomes darkness. Huh, that's not great. Well, here it's Manad's turn. Yeah, I guess we gotta help Myra out, even though she likes having ailments sometimes. Let's spend 2 red to choose a hero, Myra. Get rid of all ailments and gain 3 life back. So at least we're not about to die. All right, now how about Haruno? She can't cast spells. Oh, that's right. The guy's in charge attackable range now. But no, I guess we want to get a basic attack maybe. Although she's got +1 basic attack, so it would get to a 10. So Myra would take 4 damage, which would almost kill her. But she would just be paralyzed, not afraid. So I guess that part's okay. And then maybe Manad can get another blue and heal her before she dies. So sure, Haruno will do her basic attack +1. Although, dang it. I don't want the red mana either. I need blue mana. Well, here, let's have Haruno go for a charge instead. Ooh, are we allowed? Yes, we're not allowed to do a 3 this turn. So she could gain 2 more of this and do 2 damage to the boss, or 1 damage and 2 shielding. Now she's doing well. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So she's at +3, and the boss is down to 2. What'd be great is if we could get the boss's life to like right at 8, and then have Haruno use her super boosted basic attack to get him like almost all the way down. That should work pretty well. All right, so the boss is automatically doing a 10, which puts Myra right back down to 1. We don't have an item that would bring somebody back if they were fading, which is like dying in this, and she's paralyzed. Great. Oh, and yeah, we're just about to have that. But like I said, the chef is ready to help out. All right, next round. Give me a sun. Give me some free healing. Nope, the boss is doing another Whale of Terror on Rui. Great. But that means next round, the hero with the lowest hit points heals 3, even reviving them if they're fading. So that's all good. So Rui can't charge attack, and she doesn't have the blue even if she wanted to do her energy burst to flip. Although again, I don't know if I want to with the boss doing nasty stuff when we do. Yeah, so actually, let's spend 1 for Bloodlust so that she's immune to taking status effects this turn. And then she'll do a basic attack, which will get her 1 blue to start plinking the boss down. Okay, and then Manad will get a red mana, I guess. They do need to be healing soon, but the battlefield is going to take care of Myra a bit. And then Haruno will... Oh, her basic attack would do too much. We want to do a charge attack. I just realized on the positive side, she does have an Ether Crystal that could let her Ether, that could let her do a Twin Slash, but she can't cast spells. So 4. Okay, she gets shields finally and does 1 damage to the boss, but without taking away her basic thing. All right, then Myra's paralyzed, so she'll do a basic attack to get the boss to red. So yeah, we should be set up nicely for Haruno to do a huge basic attack to get the guy close to dead. But first he's rolling 2 dice. No, he's not. That's right, it's automatically a 10. So Rui takes 4 damage and is afraid. But honestly, she had maybe the most life besides Haruno, so I don't mind that too much. All right, we get down here, and Myra's back among the living. Yay. Although I really want to get her more mana for healing. mean, shoot, I might even use this to turn it into healing at the end of this fight. Well, we'll try to not heal him. Oh, and this is going to work out great because they're doing a basic attack to get another blue, which sets them up for a soothing salve on Myra later. And then Haruno will do a big boosted basic attack for 4 damage, which gets them to a blue mana. Boom, that was huge. All right, so now we just got to do some big charge hits to get through the 1 defense, or do some skills to kill him. Oh, Myra can do some. She can do a red catalytic burst. Wait a second. She has +3 physical? Yeah, of course she does. I did that a while ago. I'm sure I cheated and forgot to do that at least once. But yeah, let's use that. Basic attack. It is -1 damage from the overdrive, so the boss is not defeated yet. But Myra gets another mana. That's good. And Rui, dang it. She literally cannot finish off the boss because she can't even do a charge attack or a spell. So she'll do a basic attack. The mana part still happens, but she doesn't actually deal any damage because of the overdrive. Do I have to survive a whole another turn? Dang it. All right, don't do anything nasty, boss. You're almost dead. 10. Whale of Terror again. Okay, Manad is also afraid and takes 4 damage. Oh, haha. No, they don't. They resist fear, which means they can still use their 2 blue mana to heal somebody really big. That's great. All right, there's no evading. We just need to kill people. Although, dang it, Manad goes last in the turn. Oh, did I forget to move this? I definitely did. Okay, so let's say we used our chef, because otherwise stuff is too annoying. But yeah, somebody needs to kill this guy. Haruno. Try to do a charge attack. A 2 probably won't cut it. No, the -1's not enough. The shield does nothing. Great. Myra. Oh, Myra can do it. Yeah, all right. Myra will finish him off using Catalytic Burst, getting rid of that, doing 2 damage. I made a lot of mistakes in that one, but he's dead. And Myra gets to heal to 5. That's not enough. Manad gets to heal to 7. That's not too bad. Rui's back to 0 corruption. And next time we can actually use it at 3. And Haruno loses her shields, loses her mana. She was already at full health. She needs a tank for us better. Come on. And everybody gets a level 4 card to make their charge attacks better. And we get 4 final items. Oh, awesome. A healing one for Myra. That's key. Rui gets a scuba diving mask. Oh, she's immune to blinding. That might be cool. And her crystal gets another cube. Manad gets a second Chara Bear. We don't need that. I don't think he's even gotten any ailments this entire time. And Haruno gets, oh, this is a great one. An elixir lets you restore anyone here to full hit points. Even if you are fading, like even if you are dying, you can fully heal yourself. That's going to save us, I think. And we've still got our overdrive ignore, our battlefield ignore, and flip 1 die. I'm feeling great about this. And hey, look who's back. It's our good old friend, but he's leveled up too. So I won't explain what's going on with him for story reasons. But yes, it's the Herald of Blooming Petals. And this is great. This is so stupid, but it's very helpful for us. Rui becomes first player automatically. And then this one wouldn't care about Rui no matter who you were playing with. The first player becomes blinded and stunned. Well, the stun happens, but oh, they're not blinded. Haha, take that. She's ready to hit you right away, buddy. Okay, they once again have a double overdrive, although it's really big in the ending. And yeah, I remember when I first played this guy's one sucks. So he receives -1 damage from the second player, -2 damage from the third player, -3 damage from the fourth player. Yeah, thankfully we still have Akuna the Wild to prevent that for 1 round. Although, geez, I kind of wish I'd taken 2 of those guys now. And then their rage strike is a little short, you might notice. And every time that goes off, the first character activates their charge attack 6 against himself. Mana gained heals the boss. Ignore any other positive effects. The first time that happens is going to be Manad, so he'll do 2 damage to himself and heal the boss too. I mean, that's bad enough. We might want to use it. Somebody have the thing. Yeah, there it is. Haruno can push it back. Only 1 though, because it's so short that she would have to do it when it's there, otherwise it would already have gone off. All right, so before we start off, we've got Star, so charge attacks can't be 3s this time. And Rui's stunned, so not doing anything. Manad will start working on mana, hits for a red. Haruno, should we? Well, I guess not this turn if the 3s don't count. So she'll go ahead and get a blue of mana and do a basic attack. And then Myra, yeah, she wants red mana. She can get blue whenever she wants, so she'll get a red mana. And that gets the boss down to 35. Not too bad. Oh, man, I totally forgot about Elixir of Confidence. I should get her 2 blue mana. Oh, she can give herself 2 blue mana. Okay, now that we've got a red, maybe like in a future turn we'll do that. That'd be fun. All right, but the Herald is blooming all over us with a 7. Diverting Strikes. The second and fourth character lose 2. That's Manad down to 5 and Myra down to 3. Those are the wrong characters. Oh, and they've got +1 attack next turn. I could use my just trying to think. If I flipped that to be... That's so much better. I'm thinking if I use my Akuna that can flip a die, I could flip the 5 to a 2, and then we do 3 damage to Rui, who is almost at full health, and she would get blind that she's immune to. But that flipping a die thing I can save for like a really crazy turn, so no, we're not going to do that yet. Okay, and that goes down to 1. All right, come on, son, heal everybody. Yeah, we got it this time. So +1 to everybody, except Haruno, because she never gets hurt, even though she's kind of supposed to be a tank. Oh, except the boss is about to get 4 health. Maybe I didn't want the sun after all. All right, so you know what? With Manad's new charge attack, let's go for a charge, because he has a 50% chance of doing 2 damage, which is awesome. Yeah, and gets 2 mana after doing 2, which is red. Okay, that part's maybe not so great. Well, we can throw a lot of holy water, but 2 damage, good job, boy. Okay, then Haruno... We're right up against the overdrive. If Rui rolls well, we can do 2 damage and then be a little bit more set. So let's have Haruno do her focus, because it's on a red also, which is the mana she wants, especially with her having 2 blue when she needs it. And let's go ahead and use the Lump Thunder as well, because I'd rather go off on Haruno's turn and she'll do 2 damage to herself when she's barely hurt and nothing else, because all those get canceled, than Manad healing the boss. Okay, then Myra's going to do it. She's going to use her crystal to get 2 blue mana and then do an Elixir of Confidence. So she heals 4, and she gets every bad thing, and she gets a red mana. So she's ready to do some awesome Catalytic Burst. Ooh, actually 2 in a row. Heck yeah. All right, then Rui's going to do a charge attack. She's finally in the fight. 5. Ooh, 5's good. So she gets 2 of that, which means Power Drain is stronger now. She does 2 damage, and what does she end up on? A red. She gets 1 red mana. I could use the Power Crystal, but I'd rather it be on the 1 die place. Oh, and I forgot to push that back from the Lump Thunder. Okay, so Manad is getting smacked for a 1. Oh, never mind, not just Manad. Oh, and it's +1. So Manad takes 3, and so does Haruno. That's okay. Manad's down to 3 life, though. That's not so great. And this is ready to go off again. But first, the boss heals 4. Gosh darn it. It's like we made no progress at all. I mean, that's not true. We're definitely building up for some big things. All right, Haruno's first. Should she do a charge attack? I mean, she is the first player, so yeah, I think whenever she's first, I like to do that because she might get an evade even on a bad roll, or she can do 2 damage and get 2 shields. That's cool too. Although she didn't build up any of this stuff to actually set up her big twin slash. But Myra's hitting hard anyway, so she takes 1 damage from poison. Then she's going to do Catalytic Burst, and yeah, definitely get rid of the poison first. So she's doing 2 damage plus 1 to 4 damage. Oh, which does 1, 2, 3, 4 get us into -3 damage for Rui and -4 damage for Manad. So they're going to try to do some other stuff, I guess. Yeah, so should Rui do a basic attack just to get a red mana or roll for the chance of like some healing? Yeah, let's do that. 3. So 3. Okay. +1 to her next basic attack. No mana, but yeah, and didn't hurt the boss because 1 - 3 is not damage. And the Manad could get a red mana, which you don't really want, or a 4, which is, 2 red mana. That's not better. But hey, we could throw holy water for quite a while now, so that part's good. Might need to throw holy water at themselves. Jeez. All right, and the Herald's on a 2. Come on, 7. Diverting Strikes, this one again, okay. This time, though, it's, who is second? It's Myra and Manad. No! So Myra's at 5, Manad's at 1. Yeah, they need to throw some healing water at themselves. They're getting +1 attack next time. Okay, and Echoing Harmony, Haruna does a charge 6 attack against herself, which is 2 damage against her shield and nothing else. Ha ha ha, take that. All right, Myra is up. Ooh, if I got her another red, I could do a Catalytic Burst to get rid of her last ailment, so sure, she'll be at red. And since she's the only one in the overdrive not taking a negative, she will certainly use it. Let's get rid of, I guess, her charge. So that's 3 damage. Oh, and that guy goes back. We're almost out. Oh, and Rui's got... Yeah, okay, this will work. So she'll do a +1 basic and use her last power crystal. Might as well throw it away now. I mean, she's doing 3 damage, -1 for being second. So we're out of the first woods, and we get a blue for Rui. Manad's going to take a break from the fight and just drink some holy water to not die. And Haruna, I think I'm going to attack. I don't want to be on a 3 die. So she gets another red. So she now, with her crystal, has enough to get Twin Slash ready. So she needs to build up some more basic attack. But we got the boss down to a 2 with a +1. Oh, 9. No, why is it the second and fourth? Oh, never mind. Second, fifth, fourth this time is Rui and Haruno. That's way better. So, wait, is that the same? Oh, it's the same thing as last time. Okay. So, yeah, Haruno and Rui each take 3. Haruno's at 3. Rui's at 7. And then that goes away and comes back. And that's almost off as well. All right, what are we going to get now? A moon becomes a star. So if you do a charge attack, you automatically get a 2. Well, that's not so great. But Rui's first, and she's fine getting 1 blue mana. Because that sets her up with her power drain, which will get her 3 healing and 3 corruption, since she's at least 2 corruption. As for Minaj, they just... we don't need to heal. No one's, like, about to die. Ooh, a 5! So they do 2 damage, and they get a blue mana. That worked out great. Well, maybe not so great. We're in kind of a ugly spot right now. Wait a second, charge was limited to 2. So Minaj didn't do any of that. We'll just say they did a regular attack and got a red instead. Harno's 2 charge attack is not that bad, though, especially since she's so hurt. Although if she did a basic attack, she can get a blue mana, which would set her up for Twin Slash, so I guess we'll do that. All right, and then Myra is going to get rid of her last thing. Oh, gosh, that gets us to Chorus of Sacrifice. No, Myra's not going to do her last thing. We can wait a bit on that. Oh, shoot. In fact, we're on 4s for all of these. So what does she want to do? Well, I guess a basic attack is going to do stuff either way. He's going to be on 4. And yeah, this is a little frightening. I don't want that 19 plus. Ooh, no. Okay, wait. That's 17. 17. So Rui would be blinded again. And then all blinded heroes get stunned. Dude, this is the best ever. Because nobody's blinded because Rui's still... Dude, this diving mask is like the greatest thing we've ever gotten. All right, cool. And this still goes away even though they didn't do any damage. But this does happen. Rui does hit themselves for 3 more damage. But they've got a healing leaf, so we should be okay. And then what's next? Oh, no, I don't think so. I want to trigger Minaj taking 2 damage and healing the boss 2, so we'll ignore the battlefield effect. No auto 2 rage for us. So we still have the overdrive left to do some killing damage and flip 1 die to its opposite side. Okay, Minaj, I guess should heal somebody. I don't want to heal Myra because she's about to do damage, and that's fine. So let's heal, maybe Harna. She only has the elixir, but that can be used on anybody, so we want to save that. Okay, and then Harna wants to get more of these. Should I just focus? She's on a red. Or should I roll for it? Because I've got 1, 2, 3. There's a 50% chance. Let's roll for it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, a 5. That seems good. So she gets an evasion. That's probably not going to help. Although maybe it will, because this guy does attack 2s and 4s quite a lot. And, oh, now I can choose again. So blip, blip, thank you very much. 1 more and we're ready to do 8 damage to the guy and heal her. I forgot about that new part. Myra, on the other hand, is going to get rid of her last thing, which gets him here. And then, yeah, we got to get Rui doing a basic attack that gets her a blue mana. So she's got enough to do power drain, which is cool. And I feel like I might have forgotten to move that once or twice. But yeah, she'll be ready to unleash as well. No, she won't. Never mind. She won't have enough mana to pay for it. And only 2 dice this time, which is much nicer. 7 again. Oh, that's this. Okay, so it's Haruna who doesn't get hurt. That's beautiful. And Rui is down to 2. She'll definitely have to eat her leaf this turn and attack +1. And that's ready to fire off almost. What's this going to? No evasion. Okay, Haruna will not do that again. All right, Haruna is first. So if we can't evade, I think I'm just going to have her do a focus and get a blue mana. So now she's ready to do her ultra death attack. Oh, shoot, except she's the first player now, which means for it to get its full effect, she'll have to wait forever. Oh, no, we won't, because we got Akuna the Wild to ignore the overdrive. Okay, Myra, she could do an attack to put the guys 1 away from overdrive. Catalytic Burst won't do anything. Yeah, I guess she'll go for a boost. What is that? -2, and she removes all ailments. All right, but now dude is in his I don't care, I don't take much damage thing, and he's about to do a 15. Okay, I mean, that's terrible, but it could be worse. Wait, before we wrap up Myra's turn, let's show you that she healed 4. Okay, so Rui would do -3 damage, so I don't want to do the power drain I was about to do. She will heal herself. That's very important. So then what should she do? If she does a basic attack, she'll get blue mana, which is wasted. So I will try to do a charge attack. Okay, she gets that up 1, even though the damage is prevented. That's cool. All right, the Monad is -4 damage. So let's heal who's... Oh, I'm the closest to dead. So there we go. Okay, and this is going to suck. They are doing a 15. 3 damage to everyone with the boost. And, oh, this triggers, and then it goes back and it'll move again. So, who? Oh, Haruno. Oh, no, kills herself? No, she doesn't. She's got 1 life left. But, yeah, elixir time, it looks like it's going to be. All right, what fun do we have going on? Moon. So, charge attacks can't do 3s or 6s. All right, Myra's first, and she has no negative. But that's right, we're going to use the Akuna to ignore it anyway. But 3s or 6s don't work this turn. So she could just do a basic attack, I guess. really wish she had blue mana. But okay, she'll do a basic one for a red. All right, now Rui's ignoring the limitation on damage. She's spending 2 for a power drain. She's getting +1, so she heals herself 3. She does 3 damage, and she gets 3 corruption. So if she can get another red, she can actually flip and use her power finally. So 3 damage on the boss. Oh, this is going to be great. We can win immediately. Haruna. No, we don't. Well, actually, we could win immediately. Let's go for it. I got to play it here. Because a 5 is not restricted. I was going to use the minor, because a 4 or 5 could hit even with 3 and 6 being restricted. And that would have also meant with flipping the die, a 2 or a 3 would have been fine as well. And actually a 6 could have been downgraded to a 4, so there was literally no way for me not to hit. So I'm doing 2 damage and getting her a blue. And man, Rui's like, hey, let me show off my super attack. And Harun is like, no. Because she is twin slashing. So she heals herself 2. She does twice her basic damage, 4 twice, so 8. And wipes this guy out in one go, thanks to the Akun of the Wild, of course, and we didn't even have to use the minor. So woohoo! Okay, that was good. A lot of lucky breaks there, like especially that guild diving mask. That definitely helped out a ton. But that was Wild Hunt Festival. Game's still great. I taught it to my son recently, and 2 players awesome too, where you control 2 characters. I still don't necessarily strongly recommend it with 3 or 4, just because the individual stuff you do on your turn is pretty quick, and you kind of want to see the combos and everything. But I think this one is a ton of fun, and I guess to do like a little review for this mini expansion. 2 new heroes, I think they are both more exciting than average. I think Haruna's like twin slash stuff and build up and focus is like an incredibly interesting skill, because there are very few things in the game that let you not try to attack and not potentially deal some damage. So this gives you a lot of tactical positioning against the monsters. That's tons of fun. And Rui, I mean, we didn't really get to see her go off because it is a little bit of a bummer that the 3rd boss literally nerfs her. But if you play her in any other campaign or against any other bosses, or in challenge mode where you're against a level 4 boss from the beginning, then it wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, she was just about if she'd gotten 1 more red mana to use her cool skills. And I think the ideal way to do it is to do energy synchronization and then Reckless Flourish. That's 6 damage to the boss, pushing back their rage track. Pretty dang huge. But yeah, her actions are fun. Her little track is cool. I do wish that the energy burst costs a little bit less, just because I think it's hard for her to save up that much while she's also building up corruption. But besides that, all her abilities are really neat. And the other characters are great too. If you get the new core, I think it's 11 characters, and then 3 more in the Dankai Survey Brigade, which is definitely my favorite way to play if you don't want to have just a quick boss fight, going through the little exploration stuff and finding equipment and things. Super, super cool. So I have to send on this nearly finished box, which is sad because, again, my kids enjoy this one. Well, they said they'd send me a final copy, and maybe I'll do another podcast, although I guess Peter and I already did a review, maybe a billion years ago. I got to look back and see. But either way, this game is a ton of fun, so thanks for watching, everybody, and special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, Matt G, Dan, J. William F, Steve Wren, Andrew R, and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.